taking off like a Boeing. If the volume spikes, then it's time to trade. Mighty 90 setting up, it's time to get paid. Navigation trading on the mic, time to get focused. We don't need any indicator, hocus pocus. It's all about the price, just watch it move. Manage your risks so you don't lose. First hour of trading is all we need. Focus on the patience and forget about greed.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's day trading live stream. Today is Tuesday, January 27th. Hope everybody had a good night, refreshed and ready to go. Got your coffee or your tea or whatever it takes to get the focus on. S&P's up 13 points. NASDAQ futures up 140. Russell is unchanged. Dow is down 347. A couple earnings, Boeing and United Healthcare hurting the Dow. Dow is down almost 0.75%. Gold is down 0.5%. Silver taking a little dip, down 5.5%. Still almost at 109. Notes and bonds a little bit red. 10-year yield up 0.5%. Oil up 1%. Natural gas is down 9. Natty gas taking a little dip as well. Soybeans, wheat, and corn all up about 0.5%. Euro and the pound both up about 0.5%, and Bitcoin up 0.8, a little above 88,000. VIX pretty unchanged, down a little bit. 16.14 is the current reading. VIX is pretty flat. It may even open up, which would qualify my 1 DTE, but I went ahead and turned off my bot because of FOMC tomorrow. Typically don't see much good decay when FOMC is the next day, so no 1 DTE for me today. It's Tuesday, so no calendars. So just be focused on the directional trades from the get-go. And I just realized I don't have my TAT BIC platform open, so let me get that open right quick, because I will be doing BICs today. What do we do with UNH? I'm not doing anything with UNH. I mean, I will watch it if I see something potentially, because it is moving, but not a stock I typically trade. Two big down days in a row after the announcement about the capped healthcare costs from the administration. And then earnings 2 days ago was at 357. Now it's at 293. Some things that I'm keeping an eye on. MU has all-time highs in play potentially. AVGO super strong yesterday. I'll be watching that one for continuation higher. Apple strong. Watching that one. PLTR has been weak. I'll be watching that one more on the downside. Amazon above previous day high. Meta above previous day high. Hood above previous day high. Those are kind of my main watchers for this morning. Opening bell in about 20 seconds. There is the bell. Today's Tuesday, so trading the 3 DTE. Do have some big earnings this week, don't forget. So some of these options are going to be pretty expensive with the IV pumped going into earnings. SPX expected move showing 24.68. That's pretty small. $24.68. Microsoft making a push already. Apple pushing above pre-market highs. S&P right around yesterday's high. Microsoft showing some really good strength here to start. Pushed above previous day high, pushed above pre-market high. Microsoft, I'm going to trade the 485 calls I'm just loading them up. I'm just getting them ready. If I trade it, I'll trade the 485s. When a stock has earnings and you can go further out of the money because that decay is not going to happen very quickly. And they're more expensive, so you can get them a little bit cheaper by going a little bit further out of the money. Apple staying strong, Microsoft staying strong. AVGO still chopping around previous day high. Goog did a little flush, but popping back up above previous day high. I'm going to mark the pre-market high on Apple here. I got to pull back an Apple. I would take an early runner. Microsoft, a little bit of a dip. If I trade Apple, I would trade the 265 calls. AVGO dipping below previous day high. Q's weak. S&P just kind of doing nothing so far. If Apple starts to show some strength here off this pre-market high, I'm going to take an early runner in Apple using the 265 calls. It's dipping right now. NASDAQ dipping below pre-market lows. S&P holding up better. Apple's dip starting to get bought up here. I'm watching Apple here. I'm taking Apple. 265 calls filled at 334 and 335. A little early. I like the reaction off pre-market highs. Apple's been strong. I want to see it have that continuation of strength that it's had. Qs and the indices are weak, so that's not ideal, but see if we can get a little pop out of Apple. It's holding now. A little aggressive for my entry. As NASDAQ down to previous day high now. See if that can hold. Those can hold and bounce. Hopefully we get a pop in Apple. Tezzy weak. Microsoft staying strong, pop back up above highs. Need the Qs to bounce here. Tesla still flushing. AVGO, little weakness into the open. It's coming down to pre-market lows. It's now below its previous day low. I would still consider AVGO if it popped back up. It's just had that strength on the higher time frame. All right, so Apple trying to hold and push here. I'll put my first profit target in Apple at $4. I'm going to lower that profit target down to 385 in Apple. Just need a little pop through highs here. AVGO, nice pop back up. Apple ticked highs of day, but let's see if it can push through. Google dipped, popped back up above previous day high. Microsoft is staying strong. Apple's staying strong even with the indices pushing lower. Indices are not showing any strength yet, but Apple is saying, I don't care. Ticked highs again. No follow through. Need some help. Need some help from its buddies. Okay, now we're starting to get a little bounce on the S&P and Qs. Google, nice bounce. Kind of popped back up above previous day high. AVGO, same thing. Popped back up above previous day high. AVGO showing some really good strength yesterday. Could see some continuation there. Did not get any tailwind with that bounce in the Qs and SPY from Apple. Now Microsoft coming down back to pre-market highs. Google, a little pause. MU starting to bounce. Chips starting to come to life. SMH bouncing. AVGO all the way back up to pre-market highs. Microsoft, nice bounce off of pre-market highs. Amazon starting to bounce. Apple taking another shot at highs. See if it can push through. I've got my profit target at 385. S&P back up to highs. Got back everything it pushed lower with. Amazon, nice bounce. Dipped into the red for a second. Big pop. Meta's acting weak. Nvidia's acting weak. Tesla is weak. Trying to bounce here. Same with Netflix.
Order partially filled. Order filled.
No, Apple kind of rejecting at highs again. Couldn't push through. AVGO rejected at highs today, back below previous day high again. ASML is strong. Microsoft looks like it wants to take off. Some good recent strength in Microsoft. All right, Apple's going to try again. Make it happen, Apple. Apple came out with a new AirTag, same price. Let's go, Apple. We love that. We love the new AirTag with the same price. That dip on Microsoft down to pre-market high, that was a nice one. Microsoft kind of rejected at highs so far again, pausing. Amazon getting a little bounce still. S&P trying to hold above previous day high. Q's had a nice bounce off of its previous day high. Tezzy trying to bounce. Apple just not quite able to push through. If it just makes any kind of decent little candle through highs of day, should hit my profit target. I still have it at 385. Nvidia starting to bounce. SMH back up to highs. AVGO couldn't hold. Keeps wicking above previous day high and coming back down. Apple, I haven't been trading you because you've let me down. Do you really want to let me down again today? I don't think you do. I don't think you do. AVGO heading back down towards lows. IWM still staying a little bit weaker below previous day low. MU and AMD still kind of bouncing. Nvidia trying to go green. Tesla's little bounce got shut down. Microsoft, no extension through highs here. Had that nice bounce off pre-market highs, but couldn't push through. Okay, Apple's starting to push, but my options are not moving. I mean, this thing is just really slow. Apple does have earnings this week, don't forget. Apple's earnings are Thursday after the bell. Yeah, it just happened too slow, so I'm getting a little decay here. These options are trading at about 355. I'm gonna lower my first profit target down to 370. Nvidia, pretty aggressive bounce here. AVGO flushed the lows again. Goog could not hold previous day high. AVGO kind of trying to reclaim previous day high now. Chips getting stronger. If I trade AVGO, I would go with the 332 halves.
Order cancelled. Order filled.
Apple still grinding. I'm gonna keep my eye on AVGO. It's kind of choppy, but
Order cancelled.
pretty aggressive bounce. Chips starting to get stronger.
Order partially
Nvidia bouncing.
filled. Order filled.
Apple contracts up to 360. I needed to hit 370. Microsoft still chopping. Tesla's a little bounce, getting shut back down. PLTR's weak. I talked about this one pre-market. How below previous day low. I would be interested in PLTR. Just kind of made a quick bounce and flush. AMD, nice bounce. Chips getting stronger. Nice bounce out of S&P and QQQ. Russell still staying weak. ASML has been all up. Opened up just barely green. Now it's up over 2%. These contracts are not moving in Apple. I mean, price is just not moving enough. Just grinding higher. Just taking its sweet little time, like a little nice stroll, like nice little walk in the park on a Sunday afternoon.
Order filled.
It's trying to hit my 370. Nice pop in the indices. Apple is sitting on my order, but not filling. Just not hitting it. Not filling it. Microsoft starting to pop back up. Yeah, I'm in the 265s, Dark Avenger, at pre-market high. Netflix starting to bounce. Tesla trying to get back above previous day low. Meta coming to life. Chips are pushing now. AMD, ASML, SMH. Still just need a little tick up in Apple. IWM still chopping near lows while the S&P and Nasdaq are ripping. Apple just cannot. I'm going to take some Apple off. This is just these earnings contracts just are not moving. Move it down to 365. Still no fill. There we go. Filled at 365. So I did 20. I've got 6 left. I'm going to scale out of these pretty quickly, though. I'll close another 3 at 390. Yeah, SNDK reclaimed previous day high. AVGO up to pre-market highs. AVGO, I'd trade the 332 halves. I may just jump in this one if it starts to push above pre-market high, AVGO. Microsoft ticked highs of day again. Nice bounce in NVIDIA. I'm watching AVGO. It's pushing through. I'll wait for a little pullback here. I'm going to take AVGO. 332 halves filled at 624. Nice push through pre-market high. This one just has really good strength here over the last couple days. I want to see if I can catch some continuation here. I'll put my first profit target at 7. Oops. What was that? Oh. I only got filled on one AVGO. Okay. Let's see if I can get filled on some more. See if AVGO is going to pull back for me. I missed for some. I guess I only had one contract on my order when I got filled instead of 10. See if I can get filled on 9 more here. I'm not going to chase it. Apple pausing. All right, filled in AVGO on my full order now. So first profit target is going to be at $7, but I may lower that depending on the price action here. Chips are just acting really strong. Tezzy rejected previous day low. Meta tried to go green, got shut down. Microsoft has not been able to push through highs again. Hood tried to push above previous day high. It's getting rejected big time. Haven't even looked at banks today. What are they doing? Banks are just kind of chopping around unchanged. Google little dip getting bought up. S&P and NASDAQ pushing above pre-market high. Apple's little dip trying to get bought up. AVGO kind of chopping right above pre-market high. Microsoft trying to make another push through highs. No, Tezzy coming to life. Tezzy in the green. Meta weak. Meta back to lows. Need an extension out of AVGO and Apple. SMH, massive volume coming in. Is that real? That looks almost like it's a glitch or something. Okay, so it must be real. Microsoft making another push. Nvidia still pushing. Would have bounced from the lows in Nvidia. Goog still kind of dipping near highs. AVGO is just kind of pausing right at that pre-market high level. I was a little aggressive getting in on the way up as opposed to waiting for it to pull back, but pretty close to where I got in. Are you on TradingView, Watson? Look at my chart. It's about 3 times the size of the first bar. So that's not. Brandon says Tasty looks the same. I don't think that's right because it wasn't even very much of a push either. All right, Apple's still dipping. These contracts suck in Apple today. If Apple doesn't bounce here, I'm just going to cut my remaining Apple. Filled at 319 in Apple to close the rest. So small winner in Apple. AVGO is dipping a little bit. S&P big dip. NASDAQ dipping. AVGO still just kind of chopping around that pre-market high. Semis kind of pausing, pulling back. Hood, big rejection at previous day high all the way back down through lows of day. Meta through lows.
Order cancelled.
SNDK tried to make a push back up to highs, kind of rejecting back down to previous day high.
Order cancelled.
PLTR coming to life. A little weakness early, back up through highs, back in the green. SMCI trying to bounce. ASML having its first pullback of the day. Amazon just chopping within its first 10-minute range still. Meta flushed its lows, trying to bounce. Be back in 1 minute. Apple still kind of holding, but I'm just not interested in those, the way those are moving today because of their earnings coming up. AVGO, need a little continuation out of AVGO. Microsoft still holding near highs. Nvidia, what a rip. What a rip off the lows. Goog's pretty choppy. It's coming back down and kind of trying to bounce. Tesla staying green. All right, AVGO is kind of dipping now. I need to be ready to cut this thing if it doesn't bounce. AMD, big bounce as well. Some of these chips are, NVIDIA and AMD are ripping. AVGO is not following. Did for a bit, but not no continuation like some of these. Amazon making a push up towards highs of day. Watching AVGO. All right, I'm out. Filled at 544 in AVGO. S&P kind of chopping near pre-market highs. QQQ pushed through. All right, so small green in Apple, red on AVGO, down a little over $400 at this point. Not great action here. Indices are showing some strength here, and then some of these chips are, but just not really any good entries. I liked AVGO, but no follow through. I would still consider a re-entry in AVGO if it popped back up with some good momentum back above pre-market highs, but not interested in holding through this. I'm just going to watch for a bit. If I see anything interesting, I'll post in the trade channel, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap the stream. And we'll see if we can get back to green on the day. Otherwise, we've got the Navigation Trading Show at 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. Eastern. And then we'll be back for Power Hour later today. All right, all. Take care. Have a good day. Talk to you soon.